Okay, data scientists, welcome back to our last lecture for our week 4 here in our fall statistics for 2025 of our data science section MSDS 531 A01 for our first by term. Now, this last lecture, guys, I know it's over our last two assignments, but I just want to make certain that we're all on the same page. So, what I'm doing now, I just want to dot every I and cross every T in regard to that regression that I told you about earlier, those 7 areas again. So, this is like my third time now reiterating that, guys. Make sure you're able to differentiate those various types of regression. It's highlighted in the book. I've already discussed it. Those 7 areas, okay? And that's going to be in the regression and prediction section of chapter 4 from our electronic book, okay? And then also in the modern statistics with an R section, you can still go into section 8 there and look at that regression models. That gets really granular and it goes into the different areas of those therefore mentioned 7 other regression models. So when you look into modern statistics with an R link, the embedded link in each of our chapters as we go through our book or each of the respective weeks as well, that regression models link really talks about the various types of regression. So that will help you as you coincide with our electronic book for our practical statistics for data science. Okay, so that regression and prediction section, those 7 areas in the book, and then you got the modern statistics with an R link in our weekly content book per se that's in the actual respective week. Click on that link and go to section 8 and then look at regression models. You will be good to go. Okay. So please make sure, guys, that you're able to differentiate, differentiate, differentiate those various types of regression, okay? Because that regression coincides with the overall prediction, okay? As we go through our statistics uh, as being data scientists, okay? So make sure you guys are able to do that, okay? Now, let's go ahead and finally jump on our 2 assignments. And I know you guys already know what they are because that's what you guys do. You guys are really, really sharp. You guys go ahead and you beat me to the punch. And that's okay because I don't mind. Because at least I know your own time and you're on it. But yes, we have 2 quizzes again, very similar to week 2. Okay. Not last week. Last week we had those assignments, those 3 big assignments. But the week before that was week 2 when we had those 2 quizzes, multiple choice and fill in the blank. So true or false, as I like to call it. So the true or false fill in the blank deal worked out well along with the multiple choice. And it was a test bank of 20 questions for each of the quizzes in week 2, just like we're going to do again now here for our week 4. And these quizzes are really good, guys, because it's going over everything that we've done over the past 2 weeks, right? So weeks 3 and week 4, once again, guys. So if you took good notes last week, you're going to be just fine. And the same thing this week. Before you get started on those 2 quizzes, guys, that I'm going to go over in just a second, make sure you do your due diligence. Take good notes of this chapter. Okay, so we know by week's end, you're going to have most deliverables in your hip pocket. And the deliverables are derived from the overview. As I've been mentioning since week 1, there's no different here in week 4. So I just went over the overview with you in the first lecture. In our previous lecture 3 or 4. So I've told you that reading that overview is your deliverables, and you're going to see that overview paraphrase in the announcement board when I put out the announcement for this week 4. Okay. And then also, you got to make sure that you have in your pocket for this week, as I just previously mentioned, those 6 items. Okay. In regard to describing polynomial regression, diagnosing the overall linear regression, making sure you're able to interpret linear regression equations, and then also converting the factor variables into numeric variables. Same thing with calculating performance metrics for multiple linear regression. And last but not least, finding the slope of intercept for linear regression. So you got to make sure you have those overall module objectives by the end of this week. Make sure you have those down to the science, along with those deliverables that I just previously mentioned from the overview. Okay. Alrighty. So we have the 2 assignments. We have 2 quizzes. Really straightforward, guys. This is going to be quiz 3 and 4, just like it is. Like it says, quiz 3 is coming out of basically week 3's work, right? So that's all about linear regression. As I just previously mentioned, it is 20 multiple choice and true or false. And then it's also is worth 35 points, guys. So take your time with the quizzes, guys. As long as you take good notes, you're going to be really, really good. You're going to be well off. Not only these notes from this week, and don't start the quiz until you get this week's work done. It will be problematic if you go ahead and do the quiz now and you haven't even read the chapters, took notes, haven't listened to this oral lecture, and you didn't take notes. So you got to do your part and be proactive first and not working reactive. Just because we got the quiz, you just jump right into it. So don't do that, guys. Do it the right way. Read the chapters, take great notes, comprehend, make sure you're able to differentiate different things so you don't get caught up. Okay. And that's what we don't want. So again, the linear regression is a great quiz. It's going to be derived. So go back, look at everything for this week, because it's carrying over from week 3. As I've always mentioned, everything carries over. So make sure you have everything down from this week and you'll be just fine. Okay. On the linear regression side. So again, you got 20 questions as usual, 1.75 points each. Okay. And then we have the 4th quiz, which is all going to be derived from this chapter. Okay. And this is multiple linear regression. And don't forget, guys, the chapters that we just talked about previously in the last lecture, when I was telling you about our learning materials this week, and we got 2 chapters that you're going to have to focus on. Actually, it was 1 chapter just focus on those 7 areas of regression. It was all about chapter 4, right? So as long as you got the areas that I told you to look at from chapter 4, you're going to be just fine. Those 7 areas, along with that modern statistics with an R, section 8 regression models. Okay, you'll be just fine for this quiz here for the multiple linear regression quiz. Same thing with linear regression. So really, in all, everything is coming out of chapter 4 for the quiz. Yeah, there's a little carryover from last week, but just very little. But everything is really being highlighted out of chapter 4 and the modern statistics, the art book as well. So the link that we have for our course, guys, so you guys can be successful, that's embedded. Okay. So as long as you do that, guys, you'll be very, very well off. And look at that section 8, of course, out of the modern statistics link, modern statistics with an R. Look at that section 8 regression models. You'll do just fine on both quizzes. So take notes from our oral lecture. Again, those 7 areas in chapter 4, regression and prediction section. Really dissect that section before you go into the quiz. Same thing with section 8 in the modern statistics with the R regression models. And you'll have everything covered, okay, for your quizzes. So that multiple linear regression, again, both of them respectively are worth 35 points, both quizzes. Same thing here. You got the test bank of questions, multiple choice, and then true or false. You'll be good to go. And then linear regression is the same way in quiz 3. So 3 and 4 should be pretty straightforward as long as you are adhering to what I'm conveying to you guys. Okay. And that's it. So if you do that, you will be setting yourself up to win. Okay. And that's what I want. I want to make sure that you guys do set yourself up to win and being proactive, because what you don't want to do is be reactive and trying to do everything on a whim without putting in the work. So if you put in the work, you'll be successful. Okay, guys? All right. So I'm trying to think of some other housekeeping items for this week 4. Okay. Like I said, this is the time now, this week right here. If it's anything that you guys need to get caught up on, like the R tool, any Python that you need to work on, after you get everything streamlined in regard to your quizzes, taking all your notes, doing your due diligence, getting caught up on everything, now's the time to get everything together. After you take your quiz, got everything done, because now you can focus on other things. But take care of this week's material first before you start doing other things, okay? Because I want you to be successful and definitely garner those 70 points, okay, total. So each quiz is worth 35 points each. And the way you be successful is by uh, being relaxed, like a stat man there, just being super relaxed. Put yourself in a nice place and just let the air just blow and shake your ears, per se, like Statman, and do a good job making sure you got everything in your hip pocket. My deliverables, along with the module objectives for this week, chapters 4, those sections all about regression. Same thing with the modern statistics with an R, section 8. Have everything understood, comprehend, and then take your quizzes. Okay. Do not jump into the quizzes without having all your I's dotted and T's crossed. That is imperative. Okay. Please, guys, please make sure that you do the quizzes the right way. Okay. And that's what it's all about. And that's what I want you to do, because I want you to be successful. Okay. Because I just want to set you up to win. And the way you win is by doing everything the right way, making sure that your work aligns appropriately. And it won't align appropriately because you haven't put in the work. It's not going to align to the grade that you're expecting. Okay. 10 times out of 10, when you put in the work, you will get the grade that you are expecting, not only from the quizzes, but for the entire course. Okay. If you don't believe me, ask Mr. Statman. He knows. That's why he has his sunglasses on. Okay. All righty, guys. So I'm just trying to think of any other housekeeping items, because again, I do want you guys to, like I said, mainly once you get everything squared away this week, if there's any review material that you need to go over to make sure you up to par on, like Python, the R tool, even Excel spreadsheets for your data when you're doing your statistical analysis, when you aligning your columns and rows. Okay. Any tools that you feel like you need to work on after you do your assignments, after you do your reading, doing all your lectures, and you got your 2 assignments, those quizzes, the outputs for this week. And if you have some couple of days left over and you find yourself bored because you don't have anything to do, one thing about data science and statistics is always something to do. Feel free to go into our supplemental material and pull something out. If it's something that you need to work on, like I therefore mentioned, the R tool and or Python, hey, feel free to indulge. I highly do encourage that, okay? And if you need to reach out to me, if you have any questions about anything, you can always email me anytime and I will respond back. Or you can call me, but just be mindful. If you call me, only call me within my office hours. Trust me, if you call me outside those hours, I will, in fact, not answer, because you're outside my hours. Or I won't answer it, just go to my voicemail. But I will pick it up if you do call. I'll check my voicemail eventually, and I will have to shoot you an email because you left a voicemail. So there you go. But best way to get a hold of me always is through our email system, the University of the Cumberlands. Okay. So, okay, guys, have a great, phenomenal week 4. If you need me, I'm in my instructor. Feel free to reach out. I will talk to you soon. Have a great week. Bye-bye.